I would be talking about amblyopia, and as we all know, amblyopia is either unilateral or bilateral decrease of vision, where you have partial visual deprivation or abnormal binocular interaction. So it can be no cause can be detected by the examination, and is reversible if treated on time. It can be classified as strabismic amblyopia, and it's more commonly seen with esotropia as compared to exotropia because of the overlap of the two fields of two eyes. Then there is ametropic amblyopia, where bilaterally the high significant refractive errors are present, which causes formation of blurred vision and thus leads to amblyopia. In anisometropic amblyopia, basically there has to be a difference of two line difference in two eyes to call it as an amblyopia, and it's more common with anisohypermetropia as compared to anisomyopia, and it's a binocular interaction, abnormal interaction between the two eyes that leads to amblyopia. The most difficult amblyopia to treat is a visual deprivation amblyopia that is seen with the congenital corneal opacities, cataracts, or any other media opacity. So management of amblyopia, the key is to identify it early, evaluate the cause of the amblyopia, and treat it at the proper time, at the time duration of cortical plasty. That depends on number of factors like age of the patient, duration of the low vision, the amount of the refractive error, and type of amblyopia, the compliance of the patient. So as I said, the key is to identify the cause of vision loss and treat it before we actually move on to amblyopia therapy. Then correct the adequately for refractive error, which is very important, that to do a proper refraction under cycloplegia, under the proper age appropriate cycloplegia. And after we have corrected the refractive error, we need to give some time to eye to get stimulated, so that the vision is formed properly, and then give an preferential stimulation of the amblyopic eye. So you have to preferentially stimulate the amblyopic eye and kind of suppress the stimulation in the better eye. So earlier the goal was to achieve the equal vision, but now the goal is to achieve the binocular vision stereopsis. So our goals have changed. Therefore, the therapy, the management of amblyopia has also evolved with it. So what was initially up to the optical correction, occlusion therapy, penalization, and other stuff has now coming, the active vision therapy is now coming up in big way in management of amblyopia therapy. I'll be showing how we can do active vision therapy with help of the different apps that are coming nowadays. So still the optical correction, as I said, can never be overemphasized. The proper cycloplegic refraction, proper prescription of glasses can never be overemphasized. And that's the first step for the management of amblyopia. So these are the current guidelines which were published in IGO last year, how and when we should prescribe the optical corrections for this patient. You need not correct the small amount of refractive error for all patients. That has to be under the, it has to be, there are guidelines according to which you need to give them corrections. They are different from myopias, hypermetropias, and different from isometropias and anisometropia. So, as I said, occlusion therapy still remains the gold standard for the treatment of amblyopia, but we are kind of moving to partial part-time occlusion rather than full-time occlusion, and various pedic studies have shown that the part-time occlusion is as good as full-time occlusion in mild to moderate case of amblyopia. For severe amblyopia, we may still have to go for full-time occlusion therapy. So the maintenance of occlusion therapy is equally important as starting it, and we need not stop it abruptly because that may lead to the recurrence of amblyopia. You have to taper it gradually in terms of duration of occlusion. So in case you start with say full-time occlusion, you may taper to 6 hours, then followed by taper to 4 hours, and you can follow the patient every 2 months to look at if there is visual improvement or not. If the vision becomes stable, then we can think of tapering the occlusion therapy. Penalization is still considered an option where the patients are not very compliant with occlusion and is useful only for mild to moderate degree of amblyopia. It may not work in severe degree of amblyopia. Pharmacotherapy has also been tried in these cases, in cases which have not responded to regular occlusion therapy, and some kind of vision stabilization has been seen in these cases. Active vision therapy is coming up in big way in the management of amblyopia in form of video games, because they not only kind of develop interest in the patient, they are not on they also cause active involvement of cytokinin and dopamine pathway, and that's kind of stimulus the cortex. So we have monocular video games, we have dichoptic video games, and we have video games that may help in generation of stereo acuity. So this was a study conducted at our center where we found that the patients who was on treatment with occlusion as well as video game showed more improvement as compared to the patients who had only occlusion as a therapy. The role of dioptics is also coming in big way, because the major advantage of dioptics is that both eyes are stimulated at the same time. So the amount of binocular interaction that is possible with the dioptic therapy is not possible with the monocular therapy, and that's one reason why it is now preferred more for the amblyopia management as compared to monocular therapy. It may be given as a standalone therapy in mild cases, and or could be combined with occlusion therapy as well. So this was one study conducted at a center where 30 children were asked to play this Tetris stereo block game. And in this case, the better eye was suppressed and had lesser contrast as compared to the amblyopic eye, which had more contrast. So that's a way of suppression of stimulus in the better eye. And they were asked to play this game 7 days a week for 3 months. Another 30 children, the other group, received part-time occlusion without any video game. So at the end of the study, we found that the best corrected visual acuity was more or less equal in both the eyes, both for distance and near, both for the for the final outcome. However, the near stereo acuity was better in the game group as compared to the occlusion group. The contrast was also better in the game group as compared to the occlusion group. However, the older children who were more than 10 years of age were more fond of the game rather than the patching therapy, while younger children were more compliant with the patching therapy as compared to the games. So to conclude that amblyopia, the first step is to rule out if there is any cause of the amblyopia and treat it. Then proper cycloplegic refraction and proper adequate optical correction is must. They have to be regularly followed up, and the reassessment has to be done at each follow-up, and compliance has to be ensured. Thank you.